I've written hundreds of thousands of cold emails in the last year. These are the 6 main reasons why yours are being ignored and how you can fix them instantly. If you are new here, my name is Ryan Bryden. I run an outbound agency helping companies grow their B2B sales pipeline. Here are a few results that we have generated in just the last little bit, working with over 20 plus companies in the space. We also help on the fundraising side of things with companies connecting founders to right fit investors to help raise capital. Also have some information here on some companies that we've helped in this space. Let's get right into this video and dive into the first reason why people are ignoring your cold emails. And this one might not entirely be your fault, but it is deliverability. Your emails are landing in the spam folder. I think everybody's emails are landing in the spam folder. This is the case for about, I would say, 75% of people sending outbound messages right now. Deliverability in the last year from cold emails and in the outbound world has gotten really, really complex. Now, I think a lot of people who deal with these issues daily, like myself and my team, I could write a full thesis paper on what goes into deliverability, but all that you really need to know are these 3 to 4 things right here. And if you do these, this is your best chance of finding success through landing in the primary inbox and not ending up in the spam folder. Number 1, buy your domains from Pork Bun. This is the most reputable domain provider that we have found. Make sure they are .com domains. 2, make sure you are splitting the inboxes that you purchase between providers, meaning get a batch of inboxes, from Google and get a batch from Microsoft. For your Google inboxes that you buy them from premiuminboxes.com. We use these guys for pretty much everything. They are the best on the market in terms of Google inboxes, in my opinion. For Microsoft inboxes that you buy them from scaledmail.com here. These guys are a great solution. We've used them as well. Lots of great things to say. This does not mean that your cold emails will be bulletproof, but this will give you the highest chance of landing in the inbox because your infrastructure on the back end is going to be as solid as it can be. So don't overcomplicate it. Just follow these things. The second reason why your cold emails are being ignored is because of your offer. It is very common that you are presenting your offer in a way that it's something that people do not care about, and that can be tough to hear sometimes. But the best way to think about how to formulate your offer is to present it in the way of somebody saying, so what's in it for me? What is in it for the person that you're sending these cold emails to? This is all that your prospect cares about is themselves. They don't care about you. They don't care about the fancy gadgets that your SaaS platform or the service that you provide does. Let's take this example right here that I just came up with on the spot. Imagine somebody saying, we are an SEO agency helping financial service companies with their Google rankings. That is great. Good for you. Okay, and how does that apply to me? Now, let's compare that to this message of the exact same company with the exact same offer, but we position it differently. And we say this: we are an SEO agency helping financial service companies with their Google rankings so they can beat their competitors for niche specific keywords and increase their organic demos booked per month by 200%. Do you see how the latter has direct quantifiable benefits that somebody could read and decipher how it is relevant to them, what the benefit is for their company, and how this would help their company make more money? When you're presenting your offer, one of the best ways to think about it is, how can I explain what I do and present it in a way that when a logical thinking person would read it, it would be unreasonable for them not to respond to me? If you can answer that question and you can unbiasedly, don't know if that's a word, I just made it a word, get somebody to think that, you will find a ton of success in your outbound. The third reason why people are ignoring your cold emails is the length of your message. I would bet that about 99% of the sales messages you or somebody at your company has ever come up with are too long. For the majority of offers in the majority of industries, if your message is longer or greater than 75 words, you are decreasing your chance of conversion with every word that you type. And 99% of the time, this is due to the attention span of who you're getting in touch with. So I want to talk about this kind of breakdown or this thinking that we like to employ for a team at Breakout when we create campaigns for ourselves and our clients. People reading your cold emails have real jobs that they work at. They have projects, they have deadlines, they have meetings, and they have more that they are financially obligated to complete. They probably have a family that they are providing for. They are not sitting there in their office waiting for your outbound messages to come in. Your message has to get them to completely stop and forget about what they were doing for you to receive a response. You have about 15 words, and I would say roughly 3 seconds to do this. So, do you see, if you write an email that's 200 words long and you have 10 different lines of, my name is Ryan from XYZ company, we helped do this and this and this, and we did that, and you're way too long, do you see how easy it would be for somebody to ignore that? Hope that gets the point across. Keep your messages way shorter than you currently are. The next reason is going to do with targeting. It's also likely that who you're targeting for your campaigns is not 100% accurate. For the majority of offers that you are selling, you cannot load up a list of 5 to 6,000 people and let it run with the same message. I want to again kind of break down the thought process behind this, right? So the reason for this is simply just due to the fact that different needs from different job titles or levels of seniority within a company are going to have a lot of different pain points, desires, and things like that, right? For example, a director does not have the same needs, the problems, or desires as a CEO has, or as a VP, or as a manager, or as whatever kind of level of seniority within a company. Now, if we lumped all of those different departments and job titles into one list, theoretically, only about 1 out of 3 at the max of the people that you're getting in touch with would feel the pain points and really understand the solution that you're proposing. So again, just going off those numbers there, that means you're wasting 2/3 of the contacts that you're sending to because it's not relevant for them. They're not going to resonate with your message the same. Going into 2025, it is going to be much better to segment your list into smaller chunks of about 500 to 1,000 people that all share similar characteristics to make your messaging a lot more relevant. That's going to help your campaigns so much more than loading up these super large and bloated lead lists. I would definitely try doing the former right here. 500 to 1,000 people, all same job title, same department, same, have a characteristic or two that you can segment those campaigns off of and run them that way. The next thing, and this is kind of something that it might not be in your control, but it is the industry, right? It is likely that the industry you and your B2B company sell into has been overflown with, pardon my French, shitty outbound messaging in the past. Unfortunately, not everybody thinks like you or I, and sometimes we'll go full spam cannon mode with the worst targeting, the worst copy, the worst offer possible. The problem with this is that it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths when it comes to reading those messages and introduces an automatic stigma for any messages that they receive in the future. So a stigma is a mark of disgrace, shame, or social disapproval associated with blah, blah, blah. It's basically just saying people remember bad experiences in the past and they let that impact their future messages. I think you know what stigma is. There's plenty of industries where negative stigmas exist around cold outbound messaging. One that comes to mind very quickly and that I've seen firsthand is IT kind of offers, or cybersecurity is another one that we see a lot of. It is very rare that an IT or cybersecurity offer will work over cold email. The reason for this is simply just because people have become so familiarized to them, and there's been so many bad cold emails in this kind of industry and space sent in the past. Even if somebody comes along with a completely new and improved IT service offering, it is likely to be dismissed or stigmatized right away just because of how many bad experiences people have probably had with these. So if you are in this space, I would say think way outside of the box, and I would try to keep your messaging under 50 words and be super value driven. Um, if you want more details on how I would approach a campaign like that, you can DM me. But yeah, that is reason number 5 is your industry. Final thing for us here going to be the idea that you and your outbound messages look like everybody else. Now, we are at a point in the cold email game where you should really be doing everything in your power to not look like how everybody else looks. You might have the best offer in the world. It might be to the most accurate audience. But if a prospect decides in the first 2 lines, that they don't want to keep reading your message and they click off, they put you in spam, they ignore you, you are just as good as the thoughtless spammer who blasts messages into the abyss, right? So ways that you can stand out when writing cold outbound messages that we try to employ. This is something that's become of a lot greater focus as of recently. So what we'll do is adding in humor is great, especially if you can do a good job of it. If you can make it relevant to the company, to the industry, huge leg up for people that can get creative and do something cool with this. What we're doing now is we are adding intentionally improper grammar or language and things like that. So, for example, we will not capitalize everything properly. We'll throw in a LOL or a haha, again, depending on the offer, depending on the industry. Don't be stupid. But again, we're just going out of our way to say, hey, look, this is a manually written email. I'm not blasting 10,000 of you through Smart Lead, even though we might be, but this is the strategy that we are employing. PS lines work so good. Explain further things in your offer, add in relevant personalization, combine the two, add in a PS line that's humorous, or throw a haha at the end of it. PS lines always get read, by the way. So if you do jam pack the PS, it can be very helpful. And the final thing, my favorite, personal experience, add in smiley faces. I have never had a time where a smiley face did not help an outbound campaign of mine. But that is the last reason why people are ignoring your cold emails, because you look like everybody else. Now, if you want help implementing this for your B2B company, to get help with your outbound, you can find a time to speak to us here. No pressure at all. We'll try to see if our services are fit to help. If not, I hope you grabbed a lot of value from this video and that you have some killer outbound campaign ideas. Thanks so much. Like, subscribe, and talk to you soon. Peace.